Warning, the podcast you're about to hear has a unique conservative perspective and may be politically incorrect, containing some controversy in its message. This episode may speak out against liberalism, socialism, the dark state, and religious organizations. It is possible that evil in politics, education, law, society, and religion will be discussed and exposed. However, we believe this podcast adds truth and value to a mature, disenfranchised audience who may be tired of apostate religions and wicked world systems. Listeners who are easily offended, overly sensitive, or have progressive leanings sympathetic to the topics we expose should be forewarned not to listen any further. We thank both those who choose to listen as well as those who choose not to listen. You've been warned. And now, let us get on with the show.
Hello, Miss Kapow.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome to Freedom Friday Hour.
Yes, today's date is June 23rd, 2017.
I just want to start off by saying I am in the mood for a sourdough pie.
Sourdough pie? What are you talking about?
I want a sourdough pie. Yep, that's right. We're going to talk about human toes in a cocktail. Yes. But it's not just a funny aspect of a human toe in a cocktail. I'm talking a dead, dehydrated human toe.
Yep.
Kind of a cannibalistic thing.
Oh.
Yeah. It's that, well, the story doesn't really focus on the bizarreness of that as it does, well, somebody stole the toe. That's the news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk about some idiot who, he wanted Facebook likes so much. He wanted to be popular so much. He decided to dangle a baby off a balcony. He did a Michael Jackson. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson did that with Blanket.
Yeah, I do remember.
I jumped there.
Oh.
I dangle Blanket from because I love my fans like Blanket. Right?
Yeah,
Remember
I couldn't watch that. It was, ugh.
Yeah. Well, that was before Facebook. Well, this idiot decides to do a Michael Jackson because of Facebook likes. And then, there's a couple of stories here about exorcism we want to talk about. And it's not so much the stories, what they say, even though they're both interesting. It's the approach. It's the agenda behind it. Mm-hmm. That these Jesuits want to demean the real things of God and throw out words like exorcism. They throw these kind of like Christian words out all the time to demean it.
Yeah, and discredit.
Yes. That's exactly the word, to discredit. And so these articles come out every time they can find a crazy story about a crazy person who's clearly demon-possessed themselves having anything to do with exorcism, then they love to print this stuff because it discredits the real work of God in a deliverance ministry. And because I'm telling you, whether you're a Christian and you think you're a great Christian or not, you need deliverance. Everybody's got demonic hordes holding on to them and lying to them and attacking them and bothering them, and you need deliverance. You got to be delivered from that stuff.
That's right.
It's just a fact. And so it's
But what, they've Hollywoodized it so, people are afraid of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But a real deliverance. I don't even like using the term exorcism because that's a Catholic thing.
Yeah,
and I don't.
It's not an exorcism.
Yeah, I don't like Catholicism, and especially the Jesuits. Yeah, so it's not that. Biblical deliverance is not that, and that's through the power of Jesus Christ. And we're actually commanded to do that in Mark. Unless you have the newer versions of the Bible, and they'll leave that out.
Exactly.
But that's another story. Mm-hmm. That's another show. Canada.
Canada.
Lord. Canada? What is going on over there with their liberalness? They passed the law that it is a crime to use the wrong gender pronouns. Mm-hmm. You can't call a he or a she if they identify as a blitzblick.
Yeah, but how are you supposed to know that?
Well, it's just total confusion. I don't know how one would know that.
You know what I mean? It's like,
And there's this great professor, Peterson. I just watched the video of him on this Matter of fact, on this story. And he's fighting this stuff. And he's trying to talk about freedom of speech. And it's amazing. I just watched this clip of him, and he's around all these social justice warriors, all these stupid kids, all these stupid moronic kids who've only been around for about 2 decades in their life. And they just need to be kicked right in the arse. And here's this man who's been studying socialism and what it brings for 4 decades. He's a professor studying this, and he's trying to warn them about what this law is going to bring. Totalitarianism. And you know what? He's talking about freedom of speech, and they won't let him talk. They keep shouting over him.
It's only one way.
Isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's a freedom of speech, and I want you to call me the right gender, but only one way. Mm-hmm. You can't have opinion, but I need to have an opinion. Mm-hmm. They're the most retarded generation ever on this planet. Unbelievable. I feel sorry for little kids that are born in this world right now, because if this world lasts any length of time, these are the retarded idiots that are going to be in charge. Yeah. I can't imagine what this place is going to look like. Ugh. And because of that, I've entitled today's show Freedom Friday. It's 0 Stupid 30. It is 0 Stupid 30 sometime in the world. And if you look at your clock, it's probably 0 Stupid 30 right where you live.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Okay, so Ms. Kapow and I, we've been checking the UV index here in Mesquite, Nevada, because it's hotter than Kenya, Africa.
Mm-hmm. And that's really hot.
It's very hot. It's so hot here in Mesquite.
How hot is it?
It's so hot here that the Africans in Kenya, they joke about it. When they wake up, they go, "Hey, Alkamun Mamun, how hot is it going to be here in Africa?" And they go, "It's Mesquite hot." Yeah. Let's go kill a lion. So they joke about it because it's so hot here. We're the litmus test for the rest of the world. In fact, when NASA takes readings of the sun, they compare it to Mesquite, Nevada.
That's funny.
I don't make this up. Okay, today, I took the readings. Ms. Kapow and I both do the readings because she's kind of a nerd, too. Took the readings yesterday, 2 days ago, summer solstice, and then yesterday. But yesterday's readings at 12:12 in the afternoon, the UV was 10.4 here. Now, that's high because it only goes up to 12. So when you're at 10.4, it's called extreme danger. Mm-hmm. Extreme danger. That ultraviolet radiation is eating your flesh. That's what that means. Hello?
Hello.
The temperature at noonish was 111 degrees. 111 degrees. And it even got hotter. It got up to 118. 111 degrees. The surface temperature, not asphalt and not even cement, but gravel surface temperature was 165. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine what asphalt was. Now, I say all this to say this. We saw a very ignorant man out there riding his bike.
Shirtless.
With no shirt and no hat. And he stopped, and he was guzzling water like a giraffe. Like a giraffe in the jungle. And he had no shirt, and his back was all red, and his face and head was all red. He had no hair. Are you serious? 10.4 UV, 111 degrees, and you're riding your bike with no shirt? It's 0 Stupid 30 right here in my own backyard. Dumb. Last night, we walked our dogs. It's 10 o'clock at night. I have a little heat thermometer sensor, a little digital sensor. The pavement at 10 o'clock at night was 112 degrees. Mm-hmm. Yep. The cement was 106.
Oh, that's
Gravel
awful.
was 101. The dirt was around the same, 101. Yeah. So my dog said, nay, we're not doing this. We're not going out. You either drive us to the grassy park where it's 70 degrees or we're rebelling. And then that's been, yeah. Oh, yeah. They reported us. So that's my little speech on the UV index. And I post this stuff on Facebook now. I am going to start doing that. I think it's interesting, even if no one else thinks it is. I just think it's interesting to kind of monitor. Because, well, we just might all get burned up here. Right?
That's right.
Right, Mr. Bow? Okay, you have a scripture reading?
Yeah, I'm going to read from Jeremiah 10, 14, 15, Romans 1, 21, 22, and 1 Corinthians 3, 18 through 20.
Okay, I'm going to go get a sandwich and then I'll be back.
All right. Jeremiah. Every man is brutish in his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image, for his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity and the works of errors. In the time of their visitation they shall perish. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, He takes the wise in their craftiness, and again, the Lord knows the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. That's it.
Wow. Those are really good.
Yep.
That's the truth. The Word of God. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I found those scriptures and I just put them together.
Whew, that's nice. It flowed as one, actually, did it?
Yeah, praise the Lord.
That's what's amazing about real truth, the real scriptures, not the phony Bibles, not the modern translations, but the real Bible, the real scriptures. From the Textus Receptus.
Yep.
Oh, don't get me started.
Don't get started now. This is Freedom Friday, Jerry.
The real scriptures are coherent and they're cohesive because they're written by one Spirit. They're truth. If you're getting your truth anywhere else, you're 0 stupid 30. Simple as that. You might as well go out with a shirt on in mesquite.
The wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. That's what it says.
Really is. Really is. I'm going to take a short commercial break real quick, and then we're going to come back. And you want to hear this next story, really, about the sour toe cocktail, because this is absolutely
It doesn't
incredible.
even sound good to me.
No, it doesn't. Okay, we'll be right back.
You are listening to the Kapow Radio Show Network. Kapow stands for Kingdom Against Powers of Wickedness. Kapow is sponsored by Fifth Hook Media, a digital publisher of ebooks. FifthHookMedia.com has a selection of ebooks about spiritual warfare and Christian living. Visit FifthHookMedia.com. That's FIFTHOOK Media.com. Remember, that's FifthHookMedia.com. FIFTHOOK. Kapow!
What's up, yo? I like it. I'm done, yo.
Demons in My Marriage Bed from all online digital retailers, such as Amazon.com. Demons in My Marriage Bed, a true story of spiritual warfare, changed the way my spouse and I conduct spiritual battle and has increased our alertness level to the tactics of Satan. Please do not be fooled that such things cannot happen to you. Rather, get prepared and become the spiritual warrior needed to overcome in these perilous times in which we all live.
We're back, and I want
Who was that yelling?
That's the little kapow man. That's what he does. He flies around and he yells, kapow. Yeah, in Revelation, the book of Revelation, there's 3 angels. And that first angel is screaming to the top of his lungs the gospel of peace to everybody, the gospel of Christ to the world, to anybody who will listen. Well, that's the little kapow guy. That's what the book of Revelation doesn't tell you, but that's the kapow guy going kapow.
It's a footnote.
It's a footnote. He's a little angel. So don't forget that. Okay, how many are ready to have a sour toe cocktail?
Yeah. Grouse.
Okay.
Grouse.
Seriously, it's totally disgusting and funny and very quirky. But it's the agenda behind this, okay? Not that there's so much some evil agenda, but it just shows the 0 stupid 30 of where we're at, because the whole article is about the theft of this human toe.
Yeah.
Rather than the idea that there's human beings drinking a cocktail with a human toe in it.
Yeah, and it's a real human toe.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Yeah. So,
like you said earlier, it's cannibalism.
It's cannibalism. The thing, because some people have eaten it.
Yes.
The thing is, really, is that shouldn't the article? I mean, in a logical world, shouldn't the article be written like, "Hey, you people may not know this, but there's a place up there in Alaska, the Yukon, the Alaskan-Canadian border, that is putting a human toe in a cocktail and drinking it." I mean, wouldn't that be the story? But no, the story is
they stole it.
They stole it, and we're hopping mad. Kind of weird. Okay, there's a human toe served in Dawson City's famous sour toe cocktail is stolen. That's the headlines. That's what's important in this story. Let's see. There's a guy named Terry Lee. He's really mad because there's a recent theft of a dehydrated human toe from the downtown hotel Sourdough Saloon. That's in Dawson City in Yukon. It's roughly 65 miles east of the Alaska-Canada border. This guy works there at the hotel, and he is what they call the toe master. He takes care of the bar's donated human toes by day. He preserves them in rock salt. And by evening, he plops a digit into the bar's signature sour toe cocktail, serving up the drink to paying customers. Right there, that paragraph right there is like, wouldn't that be the story?
Yeah, you would think.
And then everybody go, what? But no. Over the weekend, one of the bar's donated cocktail toes disappeared. And this is what the story's about. Because it was a second toe. The one next to the big toe. To be exact is what they say. Well, some man walked into the bar Saturday night, had the gall to order a signature sourdough cocktail, a shot of alcohol garnished with a human toe. And then the bartender turned her back. The man walked out of the bar with the toe. Wow. Can you believe that? And Mr. Lee says, we have a name. We have 2 witnesses. This guy's in deep trouble.
Yeah.
The Royal Canadian Mounted Police confirmed Tuesday. So it's not against the law to drink a human toe, but it's against the law to steal a human toe.
Well, yeah. Hello.
They confirmed Tuesday that officers were investigating the toe theft.
2 officers, not an officer.
Oh, yeah.
Officers.
They got the whole team. By last Tuesday, no arrests have been made, nor had they recovered the toe. And the spokesholder didn't decline. She declined to identify the suspect. It was an ongoing investigation. There's even a flyer that the hotel put out called the Missing Toe, and on the picture is a picture of one of these dehydrated human toes.
It should really go on a milk carton, don't you think?
It really should. It really should. Somebody stole the toe. Anyway, it says even though the hotel is short one toe, it'll continue to serve its famous cocktail. Apparently, they got a couple of them. Because the
show must go on.
The show must go on, man. The bar apparently received several toes through anonymous donations.
Nasty. Nasty.
I don't. Okay, some are pledged to the bar in wheels, and others have come from people who had toes amputated for one reason or another.
Nasty. Oh, fuchi.
Wow. The toe that disappeared over the weekend was curled downward. It's a deformity caused by hammer toe. And it's the reason the donor had to have it amputated.
Oh, dear Lord. It's like a sick toe, okay?
Yeah. They only have one other toe left. Yeah. The others are too small to be a choking hazard. Okay. The sour toe cocktail dates back decades, according to Lee. Now, you have some information about this, don't you?
Well, I do. I looked up the Sour Toe Cocktail Club. There is a club, and it has over 100,000 members, and it was established in 1973. And it says, how do I become a member? Just in case some of our listeners are asking. Well, you come down to the Sourdough Saloon, and you ask for Captain River Rat. Then you purchase a shot, and most of the members prefer the Yukon Jack, which is made from whiskey and honey. Then you pledge the sour toe oath, and I don't know what that is, but I can imagine. And then you watch as a genuine dehydrated toe is dropped into your drink, and then you drink the sour toe cocktail. And it says here, be sure to remember the most important rule. You can drink it fast, you can drink it slow, but your lips have got to touch the toe. And the sour toe cocktail recipe is 1 ounce minimum of alcohol, 1 dehydrated toe, and you garnish it with courage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Apparently, the bar hands out a $2,500 fine to anyone who swallows or steals the toe.
Why would you want to swallow it? Oh,
Well,
Lord.
check this out. The bar had to increase its fine to the current figure after a man swallowed the toe on purpose in 2013. And then he slapped the $500 fine at the time. That's what it was. He just slapped the $500 down on the table and left. It was worth the $500 to swallow the toe.
Well, I wonder if it scratched his colon the next day.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, dear
man.
Lord.
Oh, they make about $80,000 in gross revenue a year from these toes. And there's a whole story behind it. Apparently, as the story goes, it was a rum runner in the 1920s who had preserved his amputated frostbitten big toe in a jar of alcohol. And years later, the toe was found by an abandoned Dawson area cabin by a man named Dick Stevenson, who was a Yukon riverboat captain. And then the sour toe cocktail was founded in 1973. Yeah. 71,000 sour toe cocktails have been served since then.
Wow.
That's
amazing, isn't it?
That's a lot. And, it's kind of funny. It's kind of humorous. And you're going, what? Ha ha, what a thing. But the thing is I just want to point out, shouldn't that be appalling, really?
Yeah.
But the whole idea is like someone stole a toe. How terrible. Let's get this guy for theft, not for putting human remains in a drink and drinking it up.
Ah, nasty.
And I know all the bikers and everything, they're cool, we're just having fun. But it's like drinking alcohol out of a skull.
Yeah.
And there's bars that do that too.
Yep.
Okay, story number 2 on our 0 stupid 30 clock. This is amazing.
Oh, I hate that
It's
picture.
amazing. There's a guy in Algeria. Is that a country, Miss Cabana? Is that a country? There's a guy in Nigeria who decided that he wanted to get 1,000 Facebook likes from his friends. So he posts this picture of he's got this little. I mean, it's like a baby. How old is this kid? You think 15 months old?
Yeah.
Or,
Well, I think it's less than 2.
Under
for
2.
Sure.
He's got this baby, and he's holding him just simply by the back of the shirt, a T-shirt, and he's dangling him 15 stories up out of a window. Out of a window. In the picture, you can see all the cars down there and the whole bit. And apparently, in the Facebook video, the kid is frightened.
Yeah. Hello.
He's actually holding him over the balcony by the back of his shirt. And obviously, with the other hand, he's filming this. Can you imagine what a retard you are? What a mental retard you do to do this? So the people who saw it, instead of giving him Facebook likes, turned him over to the authorities for child abuse. They arrested this idiot, and he's been sentenced They found him guilty. Of course, in court, he tried to say that the photo was photoshopped by, the people. Mm-hmm. That there was actually a guardrail.
Yeah.
There was actually a guardrail.
I could care less about no guardrail.
And they photoshopped it out, which the court didn't buy. And of course, it's not true. You can look at the photo and see.
Idiot. Oh, my God.
Why would people want to set this guy up just to arrest him? He's an idiot. But, I mean, here you go. It's 0 stupid 30. Come on, people. I mean, social media, Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff. I mean, it has just become so crazy and demonic for some people. Mm-hmm. It's really annoying. Very, very weird. A very weird time.
And Algeria is a sovereign state in North Africa.
I wonder how I bet it's not as hot in Algeria in Africa as it is in Mesquite, Nevada.
Probably not.
I bet you if you looked at the Algerian temperature, is probably 10 degrees cooler. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, next on the clock of 0 stupid 30 is a mom, and I say that loosely. She's accused of choking and biting a child. I think the kid was 11 years old. Mm-hmm. In an attempted exorcism at a beach. So the story right away is a one-way story. It should be this crazy arse of a mom choked and bit her child and attempted murder on a beach, but they have to throw the exorcism in there. Now, if the mom says I'm doing this to this kid because he was abducted by aliens and I'm trying to get the aliens out of him, that wouldn't have been the headline. Mm-mm. It would have been, well, that's just crazy, and the headline would have been mother tried to kill her kid. But because she said she was trying to exorcise demons out of him, that became the headline.
That's right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that the writer knows this, but it's just the zeitgeist that we live in. It's the matrix that we live in. Mm-hmm. It's Satan's kingdom right now. It's his world. And everything points away from Christ in Satan's world. Everything.
It's spiritual warfare.
It is spiritual warfare on all levels.
Spiritual conflict. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. This is a Ferndale woman, and she was arrested after she was on a beach striking, biting, and choking her 11-year-old child in an attempted exorcism. The sheriff's office received a 911 call about 9 a.m. in the morning. That's pretty early to be trying to kill your kid. Mm-hmm. Says a mother was attacking her kid at a beach near Ferndale, and the caller says the mother was attempting to perform an exorcism. She had stripped a child naked and was shoving handfuls of sand in the youngster's eyes and mouth. The woman reportedly stated she was trying to remove demons from the child. You see, all throughout the article, it's about exorcism is discredited. These crazy people do this kind of stuff. This has nothing to do with exorcism. It has everything to do, if you want to get spiritual, about this woman being demon possessed.
That's right.
And attacking her kid. That's if you want to talk about demons. That's where the demons are at.
And look what it's doing to the child.
Yeah.
Because now there's attachments to him as well.
Oh gosh, yeah. This poor kid. The assault was witnessed by a crowd of 10 to 12 people who did nothing. I'm sure they just stood around. They took out their stupid phones and started live streaming this on Facebook and taking pictures for their Instagram account and taking videos for their Facebook accounts.
Yeah, out of the crowd of 10 and 12 people, there was only one local resident that stepped in.
One. Out of 10 to 12 people, one guy decided, I'm going to put down my phone and help this kid. And he struggled with her on the ground, and she continued to attack the child, hitting the youngster in the head with a piece of driftwood.
Wow.
Then a deputy arrived a short time later. He pulled that ugly woman away from the kid and handcuffed her, and then the child was taken to the hospital for treatment, including severe damage to an ear. And she was booked for assault with a deadly weapon, attempted homicide, felony abuse, aggravated mayhem, the whole bit. Of course, there's no crime in, exorcism, but I'm sure California would love a law against that at some point. And likely this guy who stepped in likely prevented the kid from being killed.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, the story is, in this, is just another crazy person, right? Mm-hmm. But the story is about, let's discredit what they call exorcism, what we call deliverance.
That's right.
Because everybody needs deliverance, and it's not like the movies.
No, it's not.
Okay, here's another story on the same vein that discredits this. And this is a secret Catholic exorcist cult in Brazil.
I thought this was a really interesting story, though.
It's very strange, isn't it?
I've never heard of this before.
No. Well, that's because it's a secret Catholic
There
cult.
you have it.
That's why you never heard of it. Yeah. They're from Brazil, and they're making a deal with the devil. So they're a group of exorcists, Catholic exorcists, that apparently made a pact with Satan on climate change and on the death of Pope Francis. As silly as that sounds, there's more to it. Okay. I'm going to butcher this guy's name, but apparently his name is Planio Correa de Oliveira. And he's dead. He's dead. But he's almost as peculiar in death as he was in life. Dr. Planio, as he is still known by his devout followers. Now, here's the other agenda. Check this out. Here's the other agenda. Where am I from? Georgia? Get to the window and look out the agenda. What happened? I just became what? I just now driving a Dodge truck with a Hemi in it.
You swallowed that toe.
What happened to me? I tell you, it's hot and it does something to my brain. It's the UV. You won't listen to me. I want to go to Africa where it's cooler. I want to go to Kenya and live with Obama's family. It's cooler over there. Okay. Here's the other agenda. Planio, as he's still known by his devout followers, was a, ready for it, right-wing Catholic figure who founded the, here it is, ultra-conservative Tradition, Family, and Property Association, also known as the TFP, Tradition, Family, and Property Association. So right here,
right-wing people and conservatives are crazy. Yes,
you have a right-wing, you have a conservative, ultra-conservative, who's nuts. Mm-hmm. That's the story. He's not only an exorcist, but he's an exorcist for the devil. Mm-hmm. So I kind of look at this story here, and like I said, maybe the writer doesn't do it on purpose, but it's like all the stories about Trump. I mean, you can read a story about tomatoes. Okay, you're reading a newspaper, and it's like how to grow the best tomatoes, and it goes on, and tomatoes should be red and plump, and when you fill them, they should be soft to the touch when they're ripe, and right, it goes on, and then they'll say, we haven't had as many tomatoes lately since Trump got in office and put a ban on the travel of people who bring in tomatoes from, you know what I mean? It's always got to be something in there. Yeah. And it's like annoying. Mm-hmm. It's like annoying. How come I just can't read about tomatoes without some idiot bagging on Trump all the time? Right. It really annoys me. Yeah. In death, Dr. Planino is said to be in close contact with Satan. And there you have it. He's dead, but his followers think he's in close contact with Satan. So where do you think he's at?
Hell.
Okay. So Satan, or Dr. Planino, who's in close contact with Satan, can be channeled by Brazilian exorcists.
Shimini.
Mm-hmm. And he also apparently rules the so-called afterlife to such an extent that his followers are convinced he controls climate change and is working toward the death of Pope Francis. Well, some things I do hope he's successful at.
See, this is foolish wisdom of men, right?
It is. It's just like the scriptures you read. Mm-hmm. It just, this is just 0 stupid 30 to the max. According to some dude who writes for the Vatican, he's saying that this guy controls climate change and also is working towards killing the Pope from the grave. And here's the deal. He says, by getting rid of Pope Francis, some of the followers believe the way would be open for the Catholic Church to elect a more, here's the agenda, you ready? Conservative leader in line with, you ready? Their more traditional practices. So you're conservative and you're traditional, you're a nut. Mm-hmm. And you want to kill the Pope. Apparently, Mr. or Dr. Planillo died in 1995. And that TFP split in a couple of groups. One seems like they're decent, and the other one is known as the Heralds of the Gospel, and they're crazy, and they do cult worship, according to this article. And the dead guy, Planillo, has supernatural powers from the grave. That's right. He's said to be using rogue exorcism practices. This is the guy that still runs the, what's it called? Herald of the Gospel or something, that other part.
Oh, yeah, Herald of the Gospel.
Heralds of the Gospel. Apparently this guy, his name is Diaz, he's one of the followers. Apparently he uses rogue exorcism practices in which they actually communicate with the devil, Ms. Kapow.
Well, there's a picture of him on this article, and he looks pretty scary.
He does look, doesn't he look like one of those guys in a movie?
Yeah, he looks like Al Pacino.
He does look like Al Pacino, but he does with a skinny face.
And those eyes.
And you can see him in the Exorcist movie, and he goes, hoorah,
yeah.
Hoorah.
Exactly.
And he's
right
overacting, you know. Mm-hmm. He's overacting. Poor Al. Anyway, they communicate with the devil.
Yeah.
And they communicate with the devil.
And they channel.
Yeah. And people who are possessed, and so they start exercising, but then they start talking to the devils and getting information. And that's totally against Catholic exorcism rules.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They say that it's a devil worship. They say that devil worship is understandably a problem for the Catholic Church. So anyway, it goes on. They're crazy, but I just thought that the agenda was quite pronounced. Mm-hmm. You do exorcisms, you're a nut. You want Satan to kill the Pope. Blah 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 blah. But you're also conservative. You know.
Yep.
The words family and tradition, things like that. So anyway, who knows? Who believes that stuff? I don't know. Okay, Ms. Capel, this is a crazy story. You heard me earlier talking about Dr. Peterson.
Yes.
Who is against this stuff. This is the Canada. How do you pronounce it? Canada. Canadians? Is that how you pronounce it?
I suppose. This is
the Canadians could face hate crimes over using the wrong gender pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Canada passed a law Thursday making it illegal to use the wrong gender pronouns. Critics say that Canadians who do not subscribe to progressive gender theory could be accused of hate crimes, jailed, fined, and made to take anti-bias training.
Oh my
Can
goodness.
you imagine that, folks?
Is that where they strap you down and then they play all these different DVDs? Or
I think so. I think you're made to take anti-bias training. Maybe, yeah.
You have to watch it over and over and over again.
Yeah, you have to watch The Wizard of Oz over and over till you break. Okay, she's a he, damn it. He's a she. Okay, damn it. I'm sorry. It's a Z or an it or whatever the hell. Just make Dorothy go away. I mean, really?
In your case, they'd make you watch Mamma Mia.
Yeah. Did make me watch that stupid movie with Pierce Bronson.
Yeah, and Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep over and over again until I found a way to gnaw my own throat. Yeah. I would just chew my own tongue until I swallowed my own blood and died.
Gross.
Oh, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Especially all those ABBA songs. I'm getting sick. I want a sour toe cocktail just talking about it. Oh, my Lord. Anyway, progressive gender theory. The Canadians, they better use it, or it's a hate crime. This is called Canada Senate Bill C-16. C-16. It puts gender identity and gender expression in both the country's human rights code as well as the hate crime category of its criminal code by a vote of
67 to 11.
Wow. 67 brain dead, 0 stupid 30 humans opposed to 11. What's wrong with this world, you might ask? What's wrong? Oh, no, it's not ending. We're fine. We're fine, Monica. It's just you, Monica. And Justin Trudeau, Canada's Prime Minister, he's the one that's, everybody thinks he's sexy.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Because gay men are sexy.
Sexy as a sour toe.
Mm-hmm. He says, great news. Bill C-16 has passed the Senate, making it illegal to discriminate based on gender identity or expression. Hashtag love is love. This is a man kisser. No man, okay? No man does a hashtag love is love. This guy's a pirate.
Sour toe would.
Yeah, he probably stole that sour toe. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Jody Wilson-Raybould is the country's Attorney General and Minister of Justice. You know what Jody said?
No telling.
Proud that Bill C-16 has passed in the Senate. All Canadians should feel hashtag free to be me. What kind of seriously? What your country? If you're Canadian listening to me right now, your country just got flushed down the toilet. Mm-hmm. You got people. That's what I'm talking about. These little babies that are babies today. If this lasts, and I can't get my head around that this society is going to last any much longer. But can you imagine? Already we're seeing the fruits of this erroneous generation with this erroneous education and their stupidity. You already see the fruits of it. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if you're a little kid, you grow up, and then right now you're 8. By the time you turn 28, these people are now in charge. To the politicians.
Scary.
Oh, good Lord.
It really is scary.
Good Lord. I'm glad I'll be dead. Oh, my gosh. I can't imagine living in a dystopian world. That's what we're living in. I don't understand. Hashtag free to be me. Oh, my Lord. Now, there's an argument that transgender identity is too subjective of a concept to be enshrined in law because it is defined as an individual's deeply felt eternal experience of gender. Mm-hmm. Right? Said Grant Mitchell, and he's a conservative senator. Bad conservative senator. He says, yet we, of course, accept outright that no one can discriminate on the basis of religion. And that, too, is clearly a very deeply subjective and personal feeling. Mm-hmm. Now, Jordan Peterson, he's a professor. And this guy, he's the guy I saw the video of. And he was trying to talk to these idiot social justice warriors about free speech at a rally. And this video, it's in fact, it's on our Facebook page. It's on this article itself, which is entitled, Canada criminalizes wrong gender pronouns. You scroll down the videos on there, and you watch this guy trying to talk to these idiots, and they're shouting him down, and they're screaming over him, and they will not allow him to have free speech. It's amazing. Jordan Peterson, he's a professor at the University of Toronto. He's one of the bill's fiercest critics, and he's getting in trouble for this. He spoke to the Senate before the vote, insisting that it infringed upon citizens' freedom of speech and institutes what he views as a dubious gender ideology into law. And it's true. Mm-hmm. So now you don't have freedom of speech. You can't call a he.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Or that's a hate crime. Because if I'm looking at some mental retard dressed like a woman, and I know that's a dude, and I call him a him, now it's a crime? Yeah.
That's crazy. It really is.
Yeah. He says compelled speech has come to Canada. We will seriously regret this, and I know they will.
Yeah, exactly.
He says ideologues are using unsuspecting and sometimes complicit members of the so-called transgender community to push their ideological vanguard forward, said Professor to the Senate. He said the very idea that calling someone a term that they didn't choose causes them such irreparable harm that legal remedies should be sought is an indication of just how deeply the culture of victimization has sunk into our society. Peterson has previously pledged not to use irregular gender pronouns, and students have protested him for his opposition to political correctness. So you see where the world's at? It's upside down. Good is evil, and evil is so good and so right. Transgenderism, all this
is the wisdom
gender
of
identity,
man.
Wisdom of man. It's foolishness. It's from the pits of hell. It's satanic. It's horrible. But they're the heroes. And the guy that has common sense, who studied totalitarianism and teaches it as a professor for the last 40 years, is looked at as evil.
And you know that with the students, if you watch the video, how aggressive they are. I mean, they're not just rude, and but they're just very aggressive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've
hateful.
They've grown up in houses where, there's lack of parenting. There's no discipline.
And entitlement.
Yeah.
That their opinion counts, but no one else's.
No one else's. It's only free speech if I'm the one talking.
Yeah. And it doesn't conflict with what they're saying. It's just terrible. I mean, I just can't imagine.
No. Jeff Gunnarsson, he's a vice president of Campaign Life Toronto. He's a pro-life political group in Toronto. He said this tyrannical bill is nothing but social engineering to the nth degree. All in the name of political correctness. And he's right. You know, this has nothing to do... The transgender people are idiots. They're being played like every other patsy and dupe out there. They're just pawns being used. But this is bringing in... so much more.
Yeah.
It is. It's tyranny. This is the Brave New World, the Brave New Sewer Hole. This is 1984. You can't call a female a she if she... Even if she looks like a female, but she decides she wants to be called a he.
Yeah, see,
and now
how
that's a
people
crime.
Are supposed to know that. You know what I mean?
But just call them arse. Everybody's an arse, and you're safe. Hey, arse, get out of my way. Then you're safe. That's not a crime. Wow. That's amazing. That's Canada right there. My goodness. So I think that's about all the hate speech I have for today. I can't think of any more hate speech because I do hate this. I hate this world. I hate everything it represents. I hate the culture, the society. I hate the idolatry. I hate the Antichrist zeitgeist.
Definitely.
I hate Satan. I hate the fallen ones. I hate Nephies. I hate them. I hate them with all my heart. I hate them with all my guts. And that's my hate speech. So send the Mounties. You better bring half a dozen of them, though. Because I am not going down easy. Can you imagine the Mounties? I'd be laughing. I'd be rolling like, really? Really? Dudley Do-Right? You're going to... Really? You said Dudley Do-Right for me? Are you kidding? Really? You know you're a mesquite. It's hot. The horses would be dancing. It's just too hot for them. Yeah. I know the scenario, Miss Kapow.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, Jerry.
You have anything to add?
Nope.
Anything positive?
Nope.
Anything negative?
Nope. I think we said everything we want to say on the show.
Okay, you want to go. You want to get a sourdough burger?
Sourdough. Ooh, no. It just, no, it curls my toes.
You know what? You can drink it fast. You can drink it slow.
But your lips have got to touch the dough.
Okay, man. Good night.
Ciao, babies.